about to get Hedda Hardy tattooed by Ink Master Mark Matthews.
Yes, right.
Hey everyone, this is Kerry Stellar, host of Nicole LoMonaco, and I am here with my co-host Nicole LoMonaco. Say hi.
Hey.
And Sally. How you doing?
What's going on?
All right, so guys, this is our first live episode. So we were supposed to be on a little while ago, and live things happen with live videos, and life happens. So we had some technical difficulties, and anyway, we're here for In the Girls Corner, and a little introduction as to what we do is we have a show, kind of like a talk show, talk about MMA, talk about our careers, talk about fights, a whole bunch of stuff, and also fitness stuff. You name it, we talk about it. Anyway, we also go to events, tattoo conventions, Comic-Cons, fights. We sit cage side with press passes. It's actually really, really, really cool. And you can find all of our videos and everything that we do, all of the events, on inthegirlscorner.com and on our YouTube page. Also on Facebook. And I just wanted to thank MMA UK for allowing us to use their Facebook page for this. I write for MMA UK, family of mine. Really great. I love them all over there. So thank you for that. And yeah, I just want to give you, I think we should introduce ourselves and what we do and what got us into mixed martial arts before we even get into any MMA stuff, because there isn't a lot of females that either they don't fight or they don't know that they can, or they think, okay, well, I just have to train to fight. But you don't. You could train and just train to look good. And you might actually find that you're really great at it and go, shit, maybe I could do this for a career. So a little background into me. I started out as a hairstylist. I also used to kickbox back in 2006 at Sparta Gym in Westbury, and I did a little bit of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, American Jiu-Jitsu, and Okado. And I took a series of injuries, 3-4 in a row. It was one and then back-to-back, a couple more freak accidents that took me out of the fight game, because at the end of the day, if you can't lift your arms above your head, there's no way. You have no business getting into a fight, because it's just not conducive. So I took lemons, turned them into lemonade, and I'm drinking my glass of lemonade with you ladies right now. And this is what I do instead. So before I got to be able to fight, I got taken out of it, and now I can talk about it and sit cage side, which is awesome, and sit and talk with you ladies about it. So let's get a little bit into, Sally, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do, how you got into it, all that business.
I started as a model about a year ago. And some odd 6 months later, someone actually recommended a gym out in Garden City, Long Island. It's called Law MMA, Longo Weidman. So I stopped in there in July, got some information, but the opportunity actually presented itself a couple months later. In December, I decided to actually go in and take the classes, took an introduction class, and it just stuck. So I started training about a month later with Eric Heyer, a former Muay Thai champion. So he is my striking coach now. My main focus is Muay Thai, and eventually I'll add Jiu-Jitsu to it. Eventually I'll add wrestling. But all of this started because I am a model. And the thing about modeling is you do work with a lot of different people. You meet photographers all the time. And you never really know what you're walking into, especially when you're first starting. Because you do want to build a portfolio. You do want to put yourself out there. But a lot of people, they'll have home studios. They'll say, meet at this location. And you never really know what you're going to walk into. So it's great to be prepared and to be able to defend yourself. And that's actually the base of why I started.
That's awesome. That's such a good reason. You don't know what you're going to walk into at any given moment in life. And the fact that you're able to defend yourself, God forbid that were to be the case, you could kick somebody's butt, man.
The scariest thing is walking into a situation and not knowing what's going to happen. And if something does happen, you want to hope that you'll be able to get out, you'll be able to do something just to protect yourself. Because it does happen, and it is scary. You want to build a profession. You want to put yourself out there. But there's always going to be an obstacle. You never know. You get into your car. You don't know what's going to happen. You hope you get from point A to point B, but accidents happen, and it's scary.
And it's so funny, and it's not funny. It's just ironic because you hear about stuff all the time. You have the Me Too movement. You have all that. You know what? Wait, actually, you know what? Before we get into this, because Nicole hasn't told us her story about her mixed martial arts, and that Nicole actually started kickboxing a little bit. So, Nicole, tell us a little bit about what you do, your whole background.
All right. Well, there's some pictures floating about that you may see. I was at WrestleMania about 2 months ago, and I met Ronda Rousey, who was awesome. She was incredible, and I don't know if you see in the pictures as they're going by, but I do a bunch of everything. Let me explain. Hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself here. What happens is I'm a comedian. That's where Kerry and I kind of jive together on this endeavor of In the Girls Corner. I do stand-up comedy all over Long Island, Summon City, and she wanted to bring a comedic relief onto the show, so here I am. And, my life is a crazy whirlwind of experience. So I go with the flow. So I do comedy. You might have saw a picture that was on there from WrestleMania. My cousin is a wrestler. His name is Bubba Ray Dudley, or he goes by Bully Ray, depending on where you may know him from. So I have his belts on, looking like I'm the tag team champion of the world. I am, right? And so I got to hang out with them, and I went to WrestleMania because of him. And then this last picture, I do some modeling for my friend Alexa. You can check her out at Alexa Ray Beauty on Instagram, and she is killing it with her makeup. So I've been enjoying being the body canvas, and just letting myself be free into, becoming living artwork. And as far as kickboxing goes, I started a class a couple of months ago, and I really enjoyed the class, but I do yoga as well, and I have to admit, I'm more of a fan of the yoga. Don't disrespect. No disrespect, but I do like yoga. I'm a very aggressive person, so I feel like I need to be taken down a notch, which is where I find my peace.
And like I said, kickboxing really is for everybody. I kickboxed for about 5 years before I decided to get sober. I'm sober 10 years. The beautiful thing, thank you very much. The beautiful thing about it is I went from 135 to 125. I lost about 10. I went teeter between 120, 125 in 3 months. Yeah, I lost a lot of weight really quick. I got really good really fast. That's when I did a little jujitsu. And I did that throughout the years too, but I was also too fucked up and busy doing drugs that I didn't want to compete and get belts. And now I would take it so much more seriously, but I have these injuries. The upside of it is I could still defend myself. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter who it is. You could try to take me on and we're going to have some fun about it because we're going to fight and I'm going to defend myself within reason. I'm not going to pick up a knife and stab somebody, but I don't need to.
Thank God for that. I need to really learn how to defend myself. It's not okay. The only way I can defend myself right now is just getting myself some donuts and weighing myself down so that nobody can pick me up and grab me. I'm I don't know. I'm going to get abducted. I got to start getting defense mechanisms down, man, and be better at this so I don't die.
Actually, a lot of YouTube tutorial videos of just very simple maneuvers, if someone should grab you here, if they were to grab your waist, so you just take your hands and just force it up. They lose all leverage then, super simple things.
I have to start watching them because the only thing I can remember is from Miss Congeniality, and it's sing, solar plex, instep, nose, groin. I'm all right, I got it.
Watch the new Karate Kid or Cobra Kai, whatever it's called. I heard there's some really great shit in there. No, I do recommend taking self-defense classes and taking more than one because I kind of feel like anything else, practice makes perfect. And if you're going to take one, you're never going to get great at it, and you are going to have a full sense of security in your self-defense. So to me, taking a couple classes, maybe signing up for a month, maybe, you might find some really your confidence in there that you're fuck, man, I'm going to sign up for quite a few months. And, it's really a great time. And, it's why I wanted to actually talk about why I brought you ladies on board. And Nicole, like Nicole had said, because she's a comedian. I did take a page from the UFC. I kind of stole a little bit from them with Joe Rogan. Was a stand-up comedian forever before he did Fear Factor. I think he might have done Fear Factor first, or whichever he did, because he was on TV forever. Did Fear Factor, was a stand-up comedian, decided to become UFC's one of the best commentators of all combat sports. He's fantastic and he's hysterical. So I said, let me get one of my girls on that's a comedian. And I keeping in the note with girls, Sally now trains MMA, or she trains it in Muay Thai, correct? With Eric Heyer over at Law MMA. We're friends with so many. All of you guys have seen Jenny Nadell on here. Mark Matthews trains there sometimes with Heyer, and Heather Hardy, who trains with Jenny. Sometimes it's a lot of great people come out of there. That gym actually happens to be one of my favorite places.
When I walk in there, actually when I first started going there, like I trained a lot anyway, not Muay Thai. Like I would just work out a lot as a model. Like I need to stay fit. So it was just a matter of switching over where I worked out, and then I would spend maybe minimum of 2 hours there, sometimes 4 hours, just moving around, getting to know everyone. And I became actually close with both my trainer and Ray Longo, who owns the gym. So actually every single time I go in there, he says Sally as my first name, but somehow my last name became like Gabagish or something like that. And like always says something different. And it's never the same exact thing every single time, but it's like a home there. Everyone's so friendly, so welcoming, and you could just sit down even if you're done training. There's always going to be someone there. You just talk about everything all of the time, and it's home. Honestly, I would never want to be anywhere else because of it now.
And anybody I've talked to that like trains there says it's just one big family, and everybody's family. And it's really funny because, you know, I don't know if you know about either of you, the community of mixed martial artists in Long Island in New York. It's almost like a team. So it was funny when they had UFC at Nassau Coliseum. I think it might have been Chris Wyman who was saying, you know, it's almost like New York against the world. New York's just like one big team.
I think that's interesting, though, that people are able to do that, because considering the circumstances of what you're training for, you're going against other people. You know what I mean? And you're fighting these people. This is your life, but in the same, you're one. You know what I mean? Your respect and your morals are there for each other, and it's really wonderful to see people that are literally fighting one another be so connected when the rest of the world is so disconnected from each other, and they're not even physically fighting each other. You know what I mean?
Hey,
like
everyone, this is
it's
Kerry
cool
Stellar
to see
from
that.
Corner MMA.
You know, and it is, and there's I've been involved in so many different industries, and I would have to definitely say that mixed martial arts community is probably the biggest family I've ever legitimately seen. You know, in sports, there's just nothing out there like it, which is really, really cool. And, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody that trains at the gym, it's a team. It's a team effort. You're all sharpening each other's tools. If you're not going to work out together and train together, you're not going to get better. And you have to spar different kinds of people to be able to take on different kinds of situations. See, you don't need to have been in a cage or in a ring and actually got in a sanctioned fight or a street fight or whatever you want to call it to know what you're talking about. The misconception there is so many. I know so many journalists that have never trained, and I know a few that now actually are, because you want to get better at your craft. And as much as, you know, we're not in the cage fighting, we are talking about it, and I'm sitting cage side and ring side, and, you know, I want to be able to know exactly what I'm talking about. And I have the rules that I read multiple times a day. I read them all the time just to like make sure that I know what I'm talking about. I know how a fight's judged. I got into a screaming match with my little brother the other day, who you happen to know. And he's like, that fight was blah, 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 and getting really mad about it. I'm like, Chris, bro, I'm like, please don't take this the wrong way, but you're a paper fan. You don't know the rules. And the problem is that the rules aren't completely unified and haven't been adopted by everybody. So there's different variations and variables where the judging criteria is different. So normal everyday fans don't know how a fight's scored.
She's right. And I'm Kerry's hype man. I know diddly squat about doing squats or anything. And I'm like learning how as we go along here, which is kind of fun because I don't know what the hell she's talking about. But like, I'm like, yeah, she knows. Like, she knows what's up. But like, in the end, she really does. Like, it's awesome. Like, she gets into some of these talks with some people, and she knows what the fuck she's talking about. And then you research it, and you're like, oh, shit, she knows what's up. So, you know, it's cool to watch you do that, you know. And for me, I obviously don't know a lot about it, but I'm learning as we go. And it's just really cool to watch. It's you're entertaining in yourself.
I try. I like to take people on. It's kind of my thing. It's what I do. Sally, what have you gotten out of mixed martial arts and watching fights? And I mean, since we had Ronda Rousey up there and everything like that, I mean, you have your favorite fighters, right, or someone that you really like. What have been some of your key moments or a breakout fight of this year, so to speak, that you really enjoyed? One that stands out for you.
I mean, as far as watching UFC, every so often, like, I would catch it. Everyone would go out for the fights or whatever, be like, hey, do you want to go out to this place? And that was really, like, the only exposure I had for UFC. Like, I didn't have any other experience. And even now, like, I got UFC Fight Pass. Like, I watch UFC Reloaded on, like, I think it's channel 69 on cable, whatever it is.
Best thing to do.
And, like, I'm trying to catch up as far as the rules and how things are scored and just seeing people's footwork. Like, my footwork sucks. To this day, like, it's been 6 months, like, training, like, every single day. My footwork sucks, and I try. And going, like, during my training sessions, I definitely pay for it. Like, not getting to the right place, if I don't weave underneath, if I don't step out the right way, you pay for it. You pay for it with your leg kicks. Like, you get hit.
But you end up realizing what you need to adjust, and that's the thing about I'm listening to you talk, and I get in my own head, and you don't really watch as much UFC as maybe Kerry would, and I obviously don't watch as much as she does either. And people would ask me when I did comedy, oh, who's your favorite comedian, and like, what's your favorite stand-up, and I'm like, honestly, I don't know. I'm almost afraid sometimes to watch other people's things because I don't want to pick up their mannerisms, and I don't want to pick up, certain techniques that they do because, I don't want to seem like I'm ripping something off. But then when you do watch it, and then you're like, okay, there's certain pauses that you could take, or there's a certain shift, I guess, in your footing, and you're like, okay, the joke or the maneuver or whatever it is that may be taking place, you realize, okay, I could do it this way, and it's a visual for you. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's interesting. I don't know. It's funny. I didn't think about it like that. How the two could coincide. Similar.
I think anything really can. If you could take anything, any art form, anything like that. Like I would say, when I was a hairstylist, when I first started learning how to do hair, my thing was nobody knew. I was like Stalky McGee in the corner. I was like standing in the corner, like, on like where the shelf window was, like back in the cut, and I'm standing there and I'm just like stalking and watching everybody. And I'm just literally like, nobody knew I was creeping out like that. And I actually do it when I play pool. I will constantly, people don't know might not be watching somebody that I'm really good friends with game, but that guy over there is doing something I've never seen. You know what I mean? So I'm constantly watching, and I find myself picking up little things and actually looking and going, oh, I made that mistake. Let me not make that again. So it's something to be said for, doing your homework like that and learning from other people.
Well, that's actually the biggest thing that I've noticed. And I've talked to a couple of different people that I know. Actually, there's someone I know in Atlanta who trains at American Top Team down in Atlanta. And the biggest thing that he told me about was watch different videos, study people's like footwork, because they are going to do things that you don't know. They're already in the cage.
Yeah.
They have that experience. And I've been at this for about 6 months. So I'm new blood. Right. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing still. I'm like, I'm okay. Like, I'm adequate. I get to where I need to be. But do I get there quickly? Do I always get there gracefully? No. And the biggest thing, like knowing what I know now, it's more than just a spectator at this point. So I have the knowledge of, okay, step out this way. Okay, step out that way. When you plant this foot down here, you can come around with this arm here. But those are things that I've learned now, and I see it when I watch. So if I've gone to a fight, if I've watched things like on TV, I can recognize it now as more than just a spectator.
Absolutely. And, it's funny because, and I even like to step back as a fan and as a spectator and, look at it from that perspective. I do it all the time because I have my perspective, which, again, I have the rules. I have how fights are judged, kickboxing, MMA, amateur, professional. So, and in other leagues, professional leagues will have their own, like, things that you're not allowed to do that you are allowed in UFC. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, and I'll be at, let's say, my physical therapist's office, because my shoulder injuries, will be there and we'll be talking about the fights all the time. And I just wanted to give a little quick shout out to them and say a big thank you to Dr. Salvatore Corso over at Ortho Sports Associates of Long Island and Dr. Mike, who are my surgeon and my physical therapist who pieced me back together because I was a hot mess who my arms were basically falling out of their sockets. And I mean, I might not be in the best shape as to I can't lift my arms over my head. I can't lift them really past halfway up. However, from physical therapy, Mike's got me back in fighting shape. Very excited about that. So if you need anything, go and hit up Orthosport Associates of Long Island. And while wanted to talk really fast about some of the events we've been to inside and outside of the inside and outside of fights. And I want to talk about the Super Seminars World Series with Andy Sauer, Dwayne Bang Ludwig, Bas Rutten, Shane Faison, Chinza Machida, Jonathan Paul Ruiz. And here's the clip to see what went on.
Marketing terms with Shane and obviously Chinza Machida and Chinza Ruiz is awesome. Like, this has been awesome for me. I'm just a fan. Like, I'm still a nerd, right? That's why I feel like a team. Like I am. I'm a nerd, but I got hands, right? So I love it. So yeah, stay a child.
Hey, to piggyback off that, I got to say it is an absolute honor to share the stage with you guys, legends that have dedicated their life to studying and now sharing martial arts knowledge with the masses. Absolutely incredible experience.
Chinza, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so for me it's amazing to learn from each one. It's very specific. Each one has a very different technique. So I incorporate this not only in my teaching but in my game as well.
Absolutely. Andy, what did you think about everything?
Yeah, before I came here, I thought, I just wanted to know everything of these guys, You know what? 1.5 hours is almost too short for it, to show, but also to learn from the guys, because I know that their luggage, they have a lot of in their memory, in their brains, and like I said, 1.5 hours is almost too short. But what I was looking forward to was different styles. I know Dwayne. It's almost not similar to say, but we can connect. But I was really, really curious about Chinza Machida's style. I also know about Liam because I just noticed it since a little year what his style was and what his. I saw his seminars on footage, and I said, "Wow, I want to see that too in live too." So I learned, and we had more. And Bas, of course, okay, the connection is already been made in the past, and I saw it already. So I was really looking forward to it, to this weekend, and eventually, hopefully, I felt it as as almost an event that I had to fight by myself, but hopefully it can continue.
And there's more to come, correct?
That's what
There's a lot, and Sensei, Jonathan Paul Ruiz.
And we're back, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. That was the Super Seminars World Series. It was a really, really, really great time. Actually, Sally didn't get to come, but Nicole did. And that was her first experience at the seminar. Now, Jonathan Paul Ruiz set this up with Phantom Athletics, Stark No Limits. Stark No Limits, good friends of ours. We really, really like them with John Koga, Chris Osmond. Really great people. So yeah, we did that with them. It was really one of the best times of my life. And really what was a key moment for me is probably what Nicole might bring up about it. And it was really special to have seen that. And I actually do want Nicole to speak about that and talk about her experience there, because I know there was something super special that went on.
Yes. So it was my first time there. Are you guys making out? What's going on?
We're both at each other.
So I did not know what I was going to be walking into, and there's a room full of men and women all over, and they take partnership, I guess, it's like partners, they pair up, and the fighters go up close and personal, like intimate interaction with one another to go over techniques. And I was just like in awe of the whole thing, because these people paid for the seminar to be taught by these professionals, and watching them crowd around and watching the pros do what they do, I was like, oh my God, like it's so quick, and like it was like I don't know what I'm doing right now, but like it was so intense, and the energy and the feelings that was in that room, it was very positive. It was super duper high, like whoa. And Liam Harrison gave me his shorts, which I was very excited about because they were rainbow, like sherbet colored, pink, blue.
Next time.
I will wear them next time on the next show. It's the summer. I could show off the legs now. And it was the happiest moment. He didn't wash them, took them right off, and he was like, they're yours. And I was like, thank you. Thank you so much. Because one, he's so cute. And two, the shorts were amazing. And I'm really excited to show them off. So next show, you'll definitely catch me in them.
And before we start talking about inthegirlscorner.com, our website's really awesome. We're going to start putting up some new content. We're in the middle of revamping it. Things like that always happen. And I do want to shout out, they are going to have another Super Seminars World Series, and that will be in August, pretty sure in August, and it's going to be in Colorado. So we'll have more stuff about that.
I'm excited. I know. I'm thinking. I'm like, maybe it's time to plan a trip there for it.
You know what I'm saying? There's always, with MMA, the beautiful thing is there's always something going on. So even if it's not in the state, let me know if you want to go to some things, because I could totally hook it up. And I know about almost all the events that are all over the place, all the fights I've been to. But let's get into the website for a little bit, because a lot of people, might not know it exists. And inthegirlscorner.com is pretty much, I have a little of everything, all the events that we go to. I like to promote people's businesses on there, and fights and everything that goes on, because there's so many different avenues, and people don't know how powerful social media is. So I had a very good friend of mine, Mr. JP Drift, make my website, and he is the owner and sole proprietor of Existence Plus. You can find their website. It's interactive and wonderful. You can actually find a link to it on my website. So you can check out inthegirlscorner.com.
Girl that's like sneaking little bits of food. So I had a blast. I was eating popcorn, watching the show. Not the show, it's the fights. It's a real fight, it's not a show. And no, it was real. It was real as fuck. And it was amazing. It was really cool. I had a good time.
And Sally actually went to her first fight very recently. She went to a Muay Thai show in Brooklyn. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that, and how was your time and your experience with it?
I actually, when I walked into the venue, I was extremely confused. I felt like I time warped into some kind of, Club Skunk from 10 Things I Hate About You, 90s, like grunge bar. Like there were a lot of like very, very tall women, super slim, like black crop top, like everything out. I'm like, and I've seen, like I do makeup now, but I've never seen so much highlighter on so many people in one room for a fight. That's what really got me. It was for a fight, but I guess how it was set up, it was the ballroom of this venue. So they had like these grand staircase and all these things. But as far as the fight goes, I guess there were a lot of things that they weren't allowed to do. I didn't actually see any elbows being thrown. I saw a lot of knees and whatnot. But I was standing in the crowd, and it was a very confused crowd, because I have some experience with it as far as like leg kicks, this, and this. So all the people around me didn't know whose name was what, didn't know what was going on, got super aggressive if it was just a knockout, got super aggressive if they went a couple rounds. Like they couldn't make up their mind. So it was almost like watching like a fish in a tank. Like that's what it felt like. Like it just happened to be in the center of this venue. But it was actually, his name was TJ. He was fighting out of Red Planet Muay Thai on Ralph Avenue in Bushwick, and he wound up winning that fight. He was the last fight to go up. But the energy and the experience of watching a fight and having some knowledge about it, it's completely different. Like I analyze it as far as like their movements, or could they maneuver out here? Could they step out here? But the craziest parts were when like you heard the leg contact to like someone's head. Like you heard that, wah! And then they dropped, and like you kind of like see them stumble around and compose themselves, but then like they get hit again, even with something lightly, and they're done. Like they're out. It was the craziest thing for me to actually watch, but I'm very excited because I do have plans to enter the ring.
Sally's got plans.
This should be very, very interesting. Once I'm in that ring instead, it'll be a whole different kind of energy that I'll be feeling.
Absolutely. And you know what? I just want to bring up one of my favorite, or actually my favorite amateur promotion, ACC MMA. That's Aggressive Combat Championships, Mixed Martial Arts. ACC MMA is, they use one of the best sanctioning bodies. They use the USMTA, that's the United States Muay Thai Association. I went to their last fight. It was absolutely incredible. They actually have it at the Westbury something center. No. The place all the way up. Not Westbury, Westchester County Center. My apologies. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Westchester. Couldn't think of the name. Westchester County Center. Sorry about that. And it's a beautiful venue. It's an actual arena. So for any amateur fighter to walk out into an arena and see that kind of venue and see the crowds and see the cameras and see all the lights, it's going to get you definitely prepared for your professional career. And, I just want to give a couple shout outs to Tom Kilkenny, Eugene Perez, some of my very good friends. Shout out to the USMTA. And when you're at a fight and you're at an amateur fight, hello everyone, I'm seeing people comment. When you're at an amateur fight and you have Big Dan Mergliata reffing your fight and calling your fight. Yeah, Nicole, madam. Yeah. He's a great guy. Right?
Yeah, I want to have like pasta with him.
Oh, dude.
Just pasta, that's it?
Big Dan's the shit, and I definitely am going to take his ABC, it's Big John McCarthy's ABC course. I'm going to be taking that soon because you know what? You can't learn enough. You can't get enough education, and I actually would be able to be a referee, be a judge, be whatever I wanted to. So anyway, ACC does have a fight coming up. September, I'm pretty sure it's the 22nd, and it's at, again, the Westchester County Center in Westchester, New York, and you will see such amazing fights. And I mean, I could say amazing because a lot of their fighters have gone pro. Jillian DeCourcy, she fights for Invicta. Destiny the Cage Cutie Quinones, she's a professional fighter. Ron Leon fought for Bellator. Lindsay Van Zant fights for King of the Cage. I could go on and on, but I can't off the top of my head right now remember, so I'm not going to go on and on. But again, it's one of my favorite fight organizations, and definitely check out ACCMMA.com, and you can find all their future fights coming up. And again, come and see me September 22nd because I will be there cage side reporting for MMA UK. And again, we talked about the fights. We've gotten into some of our great ones, some of our favorite things that we've been to. And we do have some really big events coming up. So I do want to talk about our future events, what's going on, what's new. Actually, before I even get into that, PFL MMA was amazing. It's the newest organization that just came out. It technically used to be World Series of Fighting. I personally think they might take over the professional martial arts world because they're running it like a sport. I was telling you, the beautiful thing about it is like a regular sports league. They have the regular season, which is from June 7th to August. They didn't set the actual last day. Then they have their postseason, and they have a bracket-style tournament, which is really cool. Old school UFC.
You mentioning that. I remember you talking to me about that.
And that's from August to November. Then they have their championships New Year's Eve, and I'm just going to give you guys my little spidey sensors are going off that it's going to happen at Madison Square Garden. Ooh. Possibly at the Hulu Theater. And I'm kind of thinking that I definitely think Andre Harrison is going to be there. He's a really great guy. He fought the main event, won from Long Island, Belmore Kickboxing. Andre Harrison is absolutely great. So he's gonna be there, and it's gonna be a great time. So anyway, you definitely want to check out PFLMMA.com. It's the newest thing that you're gonna see. Oh, and 6 fighters are gonna go home with $1 million each. That's fucking crazy. Again, just wanted to give our sponsors a shout out. Island Outdoor LLC. One of my very good friends, Justin Martin. You can go there and actually, you know what? It's the summertime, so you might want to get your smoker modified, your grill modified. That's where you can do it. It's really great stuff. They ship all over the place. Definitely check them out. Again, Island Outdoor LLC. They have Facebook, Instagram, and they have a website. You could also check out Ortho Sports Associates of Long Island, the guys that put me back together. So thank you very much, guys, for sponsoring us. We really appreciate that. So we also wanted to talk, our events that we have coming up. the one thing I forgot to mention, besides PFL, which will be again in July at Nassau Coliseum. And while we're talking about Nassau Coliseum, I guess we'll talk about the last one first. Tattoo Convention, Summer Vibes. It's going to be awesome. When is it? Do you remember, Sally?
June 29th to July 1st. So it'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 2 weeks from now.
What do you think about that, Nicole? I mean, it's pretty incredible that you're having a tattoo convention at one of the bigger venues in New York besides Madison Square Garden. Everybody's fought there. Everybody's played there.
I think it's pretty cool. I think we're going to go and we're going to get some tattoos maybe. Maybe I'll get tatted up that day. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. But I'm excited about it. The last one we went to was a lot of fun. There was a million vendors and booths and different types of like eyebrow stuff. There was clothes. There was weapons made out of like different, I think, bones maybe.
Animal parts.
Yeah, animal parts. They sold leggings. There was leggings. I was very excited about the legging booth. And they had a whole bunch of things. So I'm excited to see what this one has to offer.
Actually, for that convention, well, the last convention that I went to that was also sponsored was United Ink and World Famous. I wound up in a booth working with someone named Robert Lasardo. Now, you might have seen him in a couple of different movies, in CSI, I think in Nip Tuck also. Usually cast as the villain character of some form. Oh, yeah. But he is the sweetest person on the planet. But somehow, I was there just visiting, and I ended up becoming his assistant for that weekend. So I'm assuming the next thing that's going to happen also at Summer Vibe this time as well. But I think we're actually in the booth next to each other again. So once you stop by, you'll see all of us all in one shot. Hey.
I just want to say she brought snacks to the last one.
Oh, shit.
And they were primo. There was like a box of clementines, and I was really happy about it.
Sally was clutch.
I was really surprised because I was there the day before. I'm like, I don't want to eat anything. The problem, like a lot of the issue that I have with conventions is they want to bring food vendors in, but it kind of limits you as far as what you eat. So if you're on a diet, if you can't eat certain things, like they have food trucks and they do have options. And then inside the casino, there were a lot of different things. But if you want something else or just like protein bars to snack on or whatever, they don't really have that. So I decided to go to Stop and Shop and buy everything. So yeah, I walked in with a giant pack of clementines, like 8 different kinds of Cliff Bars. I think I walked in like smoothies, and no one questioned it. No one questioned like 3 different shopping bags just full of food.
You were prepared.
I just got to say shout out to my cat who yelled.
Right.
She just growled at all of us, but it's okay. She never growls, but this time she's like, fuck y'all, I'm coming back. She's coming back. She ain't listening to what we just said. she's the bitch is like, I'm back. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. You ain't gonna say fucking nothing. And then go back to Conor McGregor. She's back. She is back. So yeah, we have the Comic-Con, CradleCon, sorry. I call it the Comic-Con because it is a Comic-Con at Cradle of Aviation, but they call it CradleCon. And that is this weekend, coming up June 23rd and 24th at the Cradle of Aviation in Westbury?
No, Garden City.
Oh, Garden City, sorry. In Garden City, New York. You could come and check it out in the Girls' Corner. We're going to have a little panel discussion. We're going to be there and check out all the booths, all the vendors. It's going to be a really great time. I'm pretty excited.
I'm very excited. I'm going to be all Batmaned out. I'm going to have my Batman stockings, my Batman shoes, my Batman shirt, my Batman pants, and maybe some socks too. So I'm pumped.
On the topic of cosplaying, recently I started cosplaying. So I will have my own booth there as a model, as a cosplay model. And for those of you who watch a lot of anime like I do, I will be Lucy from Elf and Lied. I'll have 2 different versions of her. One in the bandage form when she's first breaking out of the prison. And then the second one, she gains some clothing somewhere along the series. Like most anime that I've noticed, like for some reason, like the female character that comes out of nowhere always seems to be naked. And then they seem to borrow clothes from someone randomly, like within like 5 episodes.
Well, you know what? Hey, that's actually awesome that you have something that and I've seen the pictures. You look really good. So I think that works absolutely perfectly. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be a really, really, really great time. We went to the last one. It was the United Ink Tattoo Convention. This is the Summer Vibes Tattoo Festival. not convention. And there should be a lot of really, really great stuff besides the but we're gonna be next to Robert Lasardo, like you said, like we were the last time. He's a really awesome, good friend of ours. We're also gonna be next to WWE.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. What?
I didn't know.
Surprise! We're gonna be killing it that weekend.
Cool, great.
And we're going to have a lot of our fighter friends coming down, stopping by. I'm not sure what day he's coming down, but Sergio De Silva is going to be coming down. He's a CES fighter, Ring of Combat, CFFC. We're also going to have Kenny Foster, who is a CES fighter. Mark Matthews will be tattooing along with Patrick Strokes. We will have Eddie Gordon from the Eddie Gordon Truck Foundation. Also, he has his book, Forever Truckin'. Really good friend of mine. Cannot wait to hang out. They're going to be coming down, signing autographs. We also have Spit the Truth Clothing coming down, who designs a lot of clothes for fighters. It's actually really, really awesome. Again, we'll be having Mark Matthews down, Ink Master, and Patrick Strokes from Royalty Inc. will be in our booth tattooing. Do come, check out, get tattooed. It's going to be a really, really great time. There's going to be a lot more people coming that I will be announcing within the next couple days. So get excited. Definitely. Royalty Tattoo is in Patchogue, New York. Yeah, Pat Strokes is a really great guy. He does fantastic portraits, really great realism. So anything you want like that, definitely come down, check it out. You will not be able to miss it. It's going to be a gigantic booth. I am really, 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 really super excited about it. And I have to thank United Ink and Tattoo Luz for hooking us up, because Lou's really, really great guy, and it should be a really great time. What else do we have coming up? Do you have any comedy shows or anything coming up anytime soon?
I am in the debates right now to sign myself into the Long Island Laugh Off, which will be at Governor's, so I still have to write that email. Yeah, I'm probably going to do it. I have a couple more days left to submission, so I'm going to try and do that. I had a show over the weekend, which was a lot of fun at Knockouts. I had a fairly good set. And the weekend before that, which happened to be Knockouts, which is funny. That's where it was. MMA. Haha, you guys see what I did there? And we had another competition. Aragona's Comedy did a comedy contest out of Barton's Place in Mount Sinai, and I was one of the judges in the contest, and that was awesome. It was great to be back being a judge and watching all these new young comedians get into their groove and start themselves out, and it was fun. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be back.
Sally, do you have any events coming up besides Comic-Con and the CradleCon? Sorry, I keep on messing up the names. And Summer Vibes Tattoo Convention. And what are you doing there if you don't have anything else coming up?
Actually, well, besides CradleCon and the Tattoo Festival, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to become an assistant. But after that, I'll actually be starting my own YouTube channel, doing makeup tutorials and whatnot and everything that I use. The thing about the makeup that I use right now, I can only use Physicians Formula and Neutrogena because I am allergic to a lot of different things, which is why when the cat kind of crawled up next to me, it had to kind of disappear for like that moment. Otherwise, like I'd start itching or whatever. But I've always had this problem with my makeup. It actually happened after I stopped eating meat. I started developing a lot of allergies to different skin products. I couldn't like pet an animal without like washing my hands right away, because then I would break out right away. Like I'd have red blotches everywhere. So my makeup channel or my YouTube channel will have a lot of different tutorials with organic products, because those are the things that I can use. Even like what I use now, it's my exfoliant is coffee grounds and coconut oil, and that's what I find works the best, honestly, because I don't have that dryness that you have, because in other like cosmetic products, there's so many chemicals in it. You don't know, and I think it absorbs in like 20-something seconds into your skin, into your bloodstream. I'm sorry.
What kind of coffee do you use?
Just regular. I think it's Target has like some marketplace brand.
Ground up already?
Yeah, it's just like a can of like ground coffee. That's it. And then
I'm gonna do that. What am I? I'm gonna do that.
yeah, so I'll be starting a YouTube channel about that, and it won't just be makeup, because I do talk about a lot of different things, and I'm a weirdo like that. So it'll be anime related, it'll be Muay Thai related, it'll be makeup related. It'll just be a personality, and I imagine you'll be on it frequently.
Wouldn't be a bad thing, that much I can tell you. And, that's actually really something cool to bring up, because a lot of people don't understand that, with mixed martial arts and any other sport that you're going to play, you're going to sweat, you're going to get breakouts and all sorts of stuff. And, you really should stay on top of your skincare and stay on top of keeping yourself as healthy as you can, not just your insides and not just your form, but your face too, because at the end of the day, your skin, your face is going to suffer. So, you want to make sure that you get a really great soap that's a great antiseptic, like a jit soap. And there's just so much. And that's really, really necessary. And for women, I hear a lot of women that don't have a good skincare regimen. And I'll just tell people, get natural stuff. Use rose hips oil, get all that stuff. Anything natural is really, really great for you. It's going to do better. Scrubs, you want to do something that's not going to be harsh, because at the end of the day, I did read a study a couple of weeks ago and it was really wild. It said why most women in their 20s and 30s look like they're about in their 50s and up, believe it or not, 20s to 30s, 40s, but looking about 10 years older, and they couldn't understand why. And they did a study. It's because of all the skincare that people are using. They're using oil of Olay. They're using L'Oreal and all that shit. And it is legitimate shit. All it has is crap in it. Silicone. So you're going to look good for 5 to 10 minutes. And then when you take your makeup off, say at the end of the day, your face doesn't look the same.
I'm not going to lie. I'm guilty of I've used palm olive. I'm like, I got to cut the grease. And it works.
I'm gonna take you shopping for that shit.
I need to get better skincare products. I'm like coffee grinds and coconut oil. I could do that. I could work with that.
And it's cheaper. You buy. I mean, coconut oil, like, it's expensive to buy a jar of, but it's a big jar. And coffee grounds are what, $2-3 at any store whatsoever. So you mix it as you go, or you can kind of combine it all in one jar, and it works. It stays. You don't run out of it quickly, and you know what's in it. That's the biggest thing. You know what you're putting on your face. Even like, I have acne marks, because what happens is when I break out, like, I scratch my face, like, high anxiety, like, I mark it up. So another thing that I actually use,
I mark it up,
right? Lemon juice is a good toner, and it does bleach your skin a little bit, but that's the point of lemon juice. So it'll lighten the dark marks, like, periodically, without all of, like, the harsh chemicals.
What about if I put lemon wedges under my eyes?
Why not?
It's a little dangerous. Maybe if I'm
Cucumbers instead. It's the old wives' tale or whatever. Maybe it'll work.
Do cucumbers lighten you up?
Well, you know what it is? It oxygenates. It's got it's calming. It's got actually a lot of water and hydration to it. So it's got so many different properties. You put it in your water, it's really great. You put it on your skin, even better. Paper towels.
Lemon and cucumber water is a good thing for your skin. Someone actually at my job told me, like, mash up papaya and, like, you can mix it with honey, or like bananas and oatmeal, like, all these things you can use, and they cost you nothing, and you know what it is.
Well, that's the beautiful thing, is you could go right to your supermarket, right to the vegetable fruit section, and get so many things that actually will put it all over you.
I'm gonna be doing a bunch of other things with the vegetable and fruit section.
Well, we can talk about that at another time.
Well, I think someone was like, if you can't, like, put it into your stomach, why would you put it on your face?
Oh, it's true.
Like, why would you put it on your skin?
Absolutely. Or what about like you?
That's not even good.
I'm such a pervert. I'm so sorry, you guys. My innuendos are going to be very often.
Why do you think it's late at night? I actually think that like a 9:30 show is probably going to be best for us, because, by the way, and I should have said this at the beginning, this is for mature audiences, or use your discretion, because at the end of the day, I do use foul language. We like to talk about some fun stuff. And, I mean, like, I've been on so many shows where people have been like, oh, what's, the hottest fighter that you like, and like, who are you really attracted to? And I don't like to talk about it, but I will if I have to. Like, if somebody calls me out, I'm like, oh, fuck, all right. I got to kind of like pick somebody that I knew I have a little MMA crush on. But, I try not to talk about that stuff, because I feel like that's not what I'm supposed to, you know what I mean? I'm supposed to be as serious as possible, but while we're having fun here.
little fun fact, by the way, like, if you're cute, like, I'm gonna notice. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with looking. You could look. Don't touch.
Half the pages I look at, you look at people's MMA pages, and it's all like the sexy girls in MMA and all the ring card girls, and I'm like, okay, so that's your content. Okay, I get what you're doing. I see where you're going. But yeah, you know what? Actually, I put it on my Facebook a couple weeks ago. I'm like, guy, girl, I don't give a shit. If you're a 6 or above, I'm gonna look.
Right? No, exactly. And there's nothing wrong with admiring beautiful people, and it happens all the time. Like, even like where I work, it's a very, very friendly atmosphere. So like, it's only female bartenders. So, like, as the night goes on, like, we do have fun. We do play around. We do joke. Like, that's what it is. And then, like, the guy sitting on the other end of the bar, like, you're gonna look. It's normal.
Oh my gosh, I have one of my friends who does Muay Thai, and I'm not going to say his name, but he might be watching, and he'll laugh about this. He'll get a good kick, and he knows I have a little crush on him, and he was like, "Dude, I got like Alexander Gustafsson bod." I'm like, "What is that supposed to mean?" He's like, "I got serious dad bod." So I'm like, "Well, can you at least like show me?" So he sends me a screenshot. I'm like, "But you do have Alexander Gustafsson bod, but it's not bad. You know, you're an older guy, so you're gonna have, you know what I mean? It is what it is." But let me tell you something. Every guy that does MMA, it's great for any age because it's gonna help you when you're younger, build your confidence, give you discipline. But you get an older guy that's like, you know, maybe kind of lost their edge or, you know, lost even keeping themselves physically fit. Let me tell you something. You stay in great shape. Like, you don't lose it or you get it back.
They become silver foxes. That's the term I like to use. You're a silver fox now.
I dig that.
I'm a big fan of the dad bod, so I am. I have no shame about it. I like the belly. I'm like, give me all that belly.
She might like Frank Mir. That might be like her kind of dude fighter. 'Cause Frank Mir is pretty fucking hot, but he does have a little bit of the dad bod going on.
Check him out. Take a look at your dad.
He's got tattoos. I'll show you pictures of him. I'm actually friends with Frank Mir on Facebook. I will show you his Facebook in a little bit. He's a great guy. I have a couple of little crushes, but and I've talked about them before. Anybody that knows me knows I got a little thing for Nick Diaz. I don't know why. He's weird. Maybe that's why. He's weird. He's socially awkward. Maybe that's why I like him, because I'm a little weird. I'm a little socially awkward.
What's his name? Cody
Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt is something to look at. Let me tell you, besides his fancy footwork, and he has some of the best footwork I've ever seen in MMA. He's going to be fighting this summer. He's fighting TJ Dillashaw again, their second time. I'm hoping the snake in the grass doesn't win. I really would love to see Garbrandt get his belt back, and he's adorable. He's got a new baby. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. That much I didn't get to, but I did. He has a boy, and him and his wife they're adorable. He is just tatted up in a little glass of, I don't even want to call tall glass because he's not. He's like 135 so he's just like a little glass of just fresh stuff.
Fresh squeezed orange juice.
Whatever happened to Chuck Liddell?
Oh, the Iceman is still around.
I like that guy.
I think he just called out John Jones for a fight. They've been talking online about fighting.
Oh, yeah? I like him. I always thought he was like badass guy, you know? I don't know if I'm not sure if I'm sexually attracted to him or not. But there's something about him that I'm like, I'd watch you eat.
I'd watch you sit down and have a meal. Like, and I'd actually watch you. I wouldn't just watch you. I'd watch you.
If it's questionable, your attraction to him, that means there's still a chance. So you're okay.
Absolutely. And you know what? Chuck Liddell, he is one of the better fighters. Actually, one of my friends saw a video of me like a couple of years ago. He's like, dude, you just threw like a Chuck Liddell overhand right. I was like, I know. Yo, I miss being able to throw that punch. Yo, I threw a mean fucking overhand right. I will literally, like, it's curtains for you if I end up throwing that at you. But yeah, TJ Dillashaw, Cody Garbrandt, we got some good fights coming up. And I know we're running out of time on our hour. That's what we're allotted on MMA UK. All of our videos and our interviews are an hour. And so I do want to talk about a couple more things before we close that out. Even if we go a little bit over, it's really not a big deal. I do want to say, again, a big thank you to MMA UK for allowing us to have this time on the page and the publication that I work for, and Peter Knox and Frankie Anderson. Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate that.